Ladies and gentlemen, if you could come in and have a seat, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, good afternoon, everyone. All right, thank you. I'm not a minister, but I do need that call and response because it gives me a little bit of energy. My name is Bamidele Dimerson, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the African American Museum and Library at Oakland for our Black History Month kickoff event on this third day of February 2023. Let me just ask by a show of hands, how many of you have been here before? Okay, how many have not? Oh, all right. Well, this won't be this is your first time, but it won't be your last time. So thank you so very much. And I want to make sure that everyone has our calendar for the month of February. If you don't, please get one on your way out of the door. It's downstairs by the door to the archives area. And with that, I'm going to speak a little bit later, but I am going to turn this over to our MC, Torman Jahi.
In the spirit of our culture, we don't start anything until we get our elders' permission. So, Baba Bamidele, do we have permission to begin this historic day?
Please do.
Ashe. Can we all say Ashe? Ashe. Happy Black History Month 2023. Right here in Oakland. I want to acknowledge some ancestors. Eugene and Ruth Lizardeme and Jesse and Dr. Marcelia Ford in 1946 began collecting oral histories and artifacts that documented the archives of black folks in and around Oakland and the Bay Area, California. It was called the East Bay Negro Historical Society, and in 2023, it is called the African American Museum and Library at Oakland, where we are right now. So we want to salute those ancestors. Can we say Ashe? We got pouring libation, but we pouring words out. Now, y'all know I'm an MC. I normally come off the head and from the heart, and if I got paper, you know it's something serious happening today. As an MC, I'm spitting a written today. Today is not just another day. We are creating an artifact in real time. On this third day of the Black History Month of 2023, we are planting a seed. We are putting our collective foot down and saying to the hip hop world, the Bay has something to say. Oakland. It's the only place I've ever lived in California, in the West Coast, for 23 years. Shout out to Frisco. Shout out to Vallejo. Shout out to Berkeley. Shout out to Richmond. Shout out to San Jose. Shout out to Sac and all points within Northern California. Here, we have some of the most original, the most incredible, most legendary artists, activists, educators, and culture keepers that have ever walked the planet Earth. Right here. We recognize that although we are in California today, being a part of hip-hop culture puts us connected with a global hip-hop community. We give respect and we universally agree that hip-hop's birthday is August 11th, but we understand that the Bay Area history predates 1973. The Bay Area, as we zoom out And Look at 50 Years has a history that represents innovation, style, flair, and an independent spirit like no other. Would you agree? 50 years. 50 years, and we salute the pioneers, but we recognize that we are the new pioneers for the next 50 years. We are. Today, we begin to build the first special collection, white glove, appointment only hip hop archive of people, our people, who are either from Oakland or surrounding Bay Area, have migrated to the Bay and made it home, those who are from or lived here and now are in other parts of the world, but have made a 20-year or more significant contribution to the community, to hip-hop culture. We are here to preserve them, to preserve us, and preserve our legacy. And AMLO is the place. This is the place. These 13 hip-hop culture keepers, one legendary brand and venue, and a legendary marketing company are the first of 50 that we are announcing today. Over the next 5 years, we will build a repository to archive narratives of these giants and many others that will serve as a testimony of our legacy right here at AMLO. Why were these 13 selected? Simply put, they represent the socially conscious, revolutionary, black, deeply rooted in culture change makers that the now and future generations need to know so they can continue this struggle forward. This archive is a beginning of a journey. And no, for the record, I am not being breaded out by the museum. I've established the Bay Area Hip Hop Archives Fund. Thank you, Oakland Public Education Fund, for being in the house, our fiscal sponsor. And just as our pioneers built a culture from the ground up, we are doing the same right here. This is not a Jahiz project. This is bigger than the AMLO project. This is ours. If we say that we are a part of a hip hop community, look around the room and you ask yourself, when was the last time we got together like this to celebrate ourselves? All right, let me get back on where I'm supposed to be at. It's up to us to nurture it. And as James Brown would say, get up and get involved. It will take all of us to keep this energy, to sustain this archive, and to salute us before they try to erase us. In closing, today, the unveiling of these first 15 inductees, we are sending a signal to our community that we will not wait for others to give us our respect. We will respect ourselves. We will do it ourselves. We will not let someone else tell our narrative. We will tell our narrative. We won't leave it to chance that our legacies will be cared for. We will care for our own legacies. And again, the place where we will care for it is right here at AMLO. I thank you all for being here. I thank all the inductees. We matter. We matter. We matter. We matter. As your brother, the only reason why I did this was to bring us together. People have been calling me, well, what time is the performance and what's happening? Where's the archive? Can I look at it? Look at the people that are here today. Connect with these giants. We are all we got. Bami Deli, I want to thank you for opening the doors so we could do it here. Thank you for your support and your leadership. We need more elders that understand what we're trying to do and open up the doors and let us in. We got to protect this brother and protect this space. What I want to do, without further ado, is I want to share with you all the poster and the names of the first 15 inductees of the Bay Area Hip Hop Archives. Davey D, if you in the house, say what's up. What's up? Davey D! We have Tembisa Mshaka. Let me do this right. Davey D. Tembisa Mshaka. Tracy Bartlow. Aima the Dreamer. Festo from High Road and Souls of Mischief. The Black Panther of Rap, Paris. The legendary Upper Room. Brother Hadari Davis. The Queen of West Coast, the Queen Sugar T. The legendary Mystic is in the house. Say what's happening. DJ D Sharp, where you at, my brother? He's in the house. Aerosol King, Reefer One is in the house. And brother DJ Kevy Kev. Ankh Marketing is Kamel in the house. And finally, and RIP, the first hip hop artifact to be at AMLO for Black History Month 2023, Pam the Funkstress. This is our first class. What I would ask is that if you are on this list and you're in the house, could you please come up to the front, please? If you are in the house and you are on this list, I'm going to ask you to come up to the front. There were some of our folks that are traveling and couldn't be here. But I want if you ever want to put your phones up and take this photo and send this message. We are coming together. We are united. We are giving our heroes and sheroes their flowers. We are giving them an opportunity to tell their hip hop timeline, because you think you know them, but I have had a chance to have them on the phone, and their stories are incredible. Incredible. This is a momentous day. And what I would like to do is I'm going to start the mic and pass it all the way around one mic. I'm going to ask if the inductees can just say a few words. Hold off everything for your special collection. Just a few words to the people, because there's one other thing that we want to do. And I'm going to start on this end. Ladies first with the Queen, Mystic.
Thank you, brother. Greetings, beautiful people. I want to do something real quick, because we see people all the time and they're on stages and at concerts and they take these selfies with everybody in the room, but I'm not sure that there are any of us. So 1, 2, 3. What it do? I am deeply humbled to be in this space and in community with you today. There are people all through this room, like I've known you since I was like 14, 15. I'm 48 now, about to be 49. We built this community. We built this when we had no models. We created magazines. We produced albums. We threw events. We created what the dream needed to be, and it was grounded in the radically loving and socially political foundation that is Oakland, right? As somebody who is a community educator, to as a young MC, also be being mentored by Erica Huggins, who, if you are not familiar, was once the Minister of Education for the Black Panthers, to teach her child, to have her mentor me, for her to help me understand that part of the way we uplift our communities, part of the way that we engage in revolution on a daily basis is through our art and through the collective love of our children. To be part of this exhibit with everybody who's up here and the people, our ancestors who are in the room with us is not only like, oh, that's so fly. It's like we have to make a mark on the world and be like, I was here, right? So often as Black and brown and indigenous and poor peoples, people act like we were never here. People act like our Black history and culture and African history and culture has not existed and doesn't exist. But in this beautiful space, we get to claim it. And on those street corners that we stood on under street lights, spitting freestyles, and just trying to figure out who we are and what it meant to be from here and wanting to represent the West Coast and represent how we do things in Oakland. Understanding that it didn't matter if you were talking street shit. It didn't matter if you were talking conscious, quote unquote. It didn't matter if you were from East Oakland, West Oakland, North Oakland. It didn't matter. Some way we found each other. And we created the history, the present, and what will be the future. And one of the most beautiful things, and I'll close with this, but one of the most beautiful things to me about libraries and about museums is that they don't just preserve and hold our history. They allow the creation of future. They allow the forward movement of culture. They allow us to place ourselves in the context of who we are and our ancestors. So for everybody in this room, I love you. And in 100 years, we will have been in this space together. And for the children who walk in this space, for the community members who walk in this space, for our community members and children who are still spitting rhymes and breakdancing and creating visual art and on those turntables, every single one of us will be an ancestor in this museum, in this archive, and in our beloved city of Oakland. So thank you, Brother Jahi, for including me in this. And I promised myself I wasn't gonna cry, and I'm not. But like, I can't wait to go tell whatever classroom I next walk into full of children and young people, like, you will not believe where I got to go and what I'm part of and what we're doing. And so, yeah, thank you all for coming out today. Thank you for being in community, and I love you.
What she said. First, giving honor to the honored ancestors. It's a privilege to be here, and I'm very grateful for the consideration. Hip hop turns 50, and so did I. And coming up here in Oakland with such a rich, radical history, and being a Panther Cub, and I'm saying that to say that the legacy of the Black Panther Party is very important and critical to hip-hop culture. All 10 points of the 10-point platform, if you're not familiar, have not been resolved, going on 57 years. And some of those points, like point number 4, we want decent housing and shelter fit for human beings, is a bigger crisis now than it was in 1966. Hip-hop is a vehicle for change, as Brother Jahi has so eloquently expressed, and many others here have lived. It's a vehicle for change, and if we are not the change agents with this culture, what are we saying about the legacy of hip-hop in 50 years? Look at our children and our youth here in Oakland. If somebody got killed when I was in high school in Oakland, it was scandalous. Likely your friend got hit by a car or something like that. But for the level of murder and violence that exists in our streets, what are we saying with this culture? What is it? Is it more healing and food, or is it toxic? Because it can be either one. It's just like it's a weapon. It can be a weapon to liberate us, or it could be one to put our people down. I'm into the tradition of keeping the hip-hop hip. It's got to have that knowledge element. That fifth element is key. And so with that being said, I'll keep this brief. It's an honor to be here. And shout out to some of the Aerosol brothers that came before me and paved the path. Del Fresh, Mike Dream, and there are others. But it is important that we use this hip-hop as a tool to save our youth. And I can tell you personally, it's given me a life that has taken me around this globe and has healed me and gave me the ability to express myself and tap into my soul in very deep ways and share that with others. The least we can do as the hip-hop community is make sure we create that same environment for our young people. Or we failed them and we failed hip-hop. And we can't do that on our watch, right? I appreciate you, and I certainly appreciate AMLO for having a vision to hold space for us. Thank you.
What Mystic and Reefa said, I think, says it all. I'll just say one thing to add to that. Coming from New York and being a part of that 70s iteration of hip-hop and then, really being nurtured out here in the Bay, I got a chance to see it from both perspectives for a number of years. One thing that I'll say was consistent in New York and definitely out here in the Bay is a word that I want to leave you with, which is intentionality. Society likes to make us believe, especially as black people, that our history is kind of happenstance. Martin just kind of wrote a speech and Malcolm just kind of showed up, right? The Panthers just kind of did their thing. And that makes for a good story. It makes it sound like these individuals were superhuman, when in fact, they put in a lot of work. They were very intentional. They were methodic. They thought about things. And even with hip hop, because a lot of times we think the art is something that just showed up. Nobody went to a library and just created it. There were people that sat there in my neighborhood and said, "This gang violence, and we're going to have to be intentional about ending it." And they did. It's not something that's always written in the papers. It's not something that shows up every day, but it's something that happened. You could see that replicated over here. It's just now we're realizing, thanks to Black Sea and others, who wrote about it in a recent book, about the intentionality that took place with somebody who is a hip-hop artist himself. Big shout out to Pop-Tart and, Lonnie Green. But, his dancing is great, but I also think the fact that he was forging a truce, between Fillmore and Hunters Point is a story that exemplifies hip-hop. There are many, many moments like that. Many people in this room have sat with youth, have gone behind the prison cells and sat down and tutored and mentored. Many of us have given our money. Many of us have done things that you just don't see. And maybe you're not supposed to see it, but none of this happens by accident. The fact that we're here, Jahi just didn't show up one day and say, "I just fell into something." This is somebody who was thinking about things for a long time. This is somebody that was building off of many of the intentional things that all of us have done in this room. I'll conclude by saying the essence of hip-hop is creating something out of nothing. And what that means is for black folks is that we are resourceful because we have to be. Nobody's given us a goddamn thing. So we're looking around, when I was coming up, there was no magazine, so I wrote my own, right? And many people in this room have followed suit and have taken it to bigger and better heights. When we were sitting around and saying there's no hip-hop on the radio, we did it ourselves. So from KPOO to Calex to KVSU, all of us were doing that. But we just didn't do it by accident. I can tell you about the meetings that we all had behind the scenes. When we were sitting there and we were saying, this is the plan of action, this is how we're going to do it, this is how it will be executed. There was always a backdoor channel. And I think everybody on this panel and everybody who will be speaking later can tell you that there was a lot of intentionality about the things that they do. I'll close with this in also saying, society likes to separate the intelligence and the technological prowess of our people when we create things. It's magical. It's like, oh, black people just sing naturally. That's what one of them first presidents said, Johnson or whatever his name is. You know, it was Washington, what was it, George Washington? John Adams, whatever, right? We don't remember. Jefferson, that's who it was, right? He said that we were just natural about the things that we did. But those who were enslaved knew that they had a method when they were communicating with each other through drums and dance and movement, right? And all that legacy is passed down to us, you know, and we continue and should continue, as Reefa said, to make a way out of no way, to blaze a path where there isn't. And if we settle for the trinkets that society has given us and said, you don't need to do anything except sit on a throne and be magical, then we failed ourselves and we failed this legacy of hip hop. And more importantly, we failed the legacy of black expression. That's all hip hop really is at the end of the day. So I want us to leave us with that. Thank you for the efforts, and I'm proud to be a part of this iteration. Peace.
I want Davey to stay here. Can we really give some love to Davey? It's a reason why I'm asking him to stay here. I know I'm off the script of the program, but this is important. Davey D has archived all of us, but he has never been fully archived. We are giving him his full flowers and roses. When I landed in Oakland, California, Tony Coleman, rest in peace, who will be a part of this legacy, picked me up at the airport and took me straight to KPFA, and the first person I met was this brother right here, Davey D. My longest friend here in the Bay. I got a lot of love for you, and it is because of your work is why we doing this today. So I just need to publicly give you that. Love you, man.
Oh my God, Jahi, you didn't tell me we were going to have to speak. My name is Issa B, and I'm in the place. In the spirit of hip-hop, I bring it to your face. Y'all didn't know I could rap. Y'all just thought I did shows, but I'm 50 years old, and I've never been told to shut up. Yes, I have, but I said, fuck that. I'm going to express myself, and that shit ain't whack. One time, this is what we do when we do it. What's up with y'all? Hip-hop, we're fluid. Y'all not with me? Ain't nobody about to break dance, do some graffiti, all these speeches? One time. Okay, so greetings, y'all. In the spirit of hip-hop, it's a live thing, right? A lot of times people ask us, where is hip-hop going? What's the future of hip-hop? We don't need to answer that question. That's not for me as a 50-year-old woman to answer that question. That's for the next generation. So I'm here, and I'm super happy to be here. My name is Aisha, and I'm representing the Upper Room. And I'll call the name of my father, Rafiq Bilal, and Brother Israel, the co-founders of the Upper Room. The deep thing about the Upper Room, so the Upper Room was started intentionally for folks in the clean and sober community, right? My father was a drug counselor and created him and a series of healers, all the strategies that we talk about now, trauma-informed care, healing-centered engagement, all that kind of stuff came from these old-head people that knew that folks with challenges like us need a place to heal and recover, and knew that the greatest pill, the greatest medicine that you can take is knowledge of self, right? So creating strategies to help communities of people who had issues with addiction heal was who the Upper Room was initially intended for. So remember that when we think about this, this movement, this culture, right? We also understand as African people that we didn't have, our ancient cultures didn't have this idea of entertainment for entertainment's sake. We didn't get together to just like feel good just to feel good. We definitely didn't do it to make money, right? We did it as ritual. We came together and raised our hands and did like this. If you study any ancient healing, it's always with your hands up and your heart is open, right? We did that as ritual, as African and as indigenous people. Hip-hop is a part of that, y'all. My father and the other brothers that were a part of that creation understood that there needed to be a link between not just oppressed, marginalized, disadvantaged communities, but the powerful, medicinal, ancient communities. We got to reframe these words. I hate doing the work I do. They talk about black folks as marginalized. I said, since when? I ain't never been in no margins. And every margin I've been in, I done broke through and actually wrote the book. So what are we talking about, right? So hip hop and the upper room and this 50-year transition is a very powerful one. And so, again, I wasn't prepared to speak, but what I will say is that when you see me, you see one of thousands of people that came through the upper room, right? I'm just representing this movement of kids of color coming together in a clean and sober community, y'all. Very, very important. In a clean and sober community to actually express this art form, right? So I'm just grateful. I was getting kicked out of undergrad when this was happening, so my dad was like, cool, fuck that college. Come back to the Bay and be a part of the upper room. So again, spirit was present back then, moving us and shifting us and pushing us to be exactly where we need to be. So I'm honored, I'm humbled to be a part of this special, special thing. Thank you, Baba. I appreciate you. And this thing can never die. Like, they can't kill us. We're still here. I laugh about it, y'all. Not that it's not serious, but, like, we forget that. Every generation we've done superhero things, and that's going to continue. So give thanks, be well, and have fun.
Thanks. Shout out the upper room. Who knows about Midnight Voices?
Hello.
All right, my name is Kamel with Onk Marketing. For those who don't know me, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. My role has not been to be on the mic. It's been more to provide platforms and stages for those who are masters of ceremony and you know, experts at their craft of being on the microphone or DJ or whatever that is. But you know, I'm humbled, honored. You know, want to send a big shout out to Jahi for incredible work he has been doing and continues to do for the hip hop community and the community at large. This brother teaches youth, teaches science, bust raps, public. I mean, I don't know why this brother's his name's not on there along right with us. You know what I mean? Okay, exactly. Make sure that happens for sure. So, you know, I'm gonna keep it definitely short. To quote my brothers, M1 and Stick is bigger than hip hop. You know, it's all about our community, and you know, the next 50 years, I want to see us utilize this culture people are making billions of dollars from to uplift the actual bottom line of our communities. As some of the folks here said, we still don't have a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, and for billions of dollars to go into the other hands, you know, outside of our community, from our culture, born and raised, right in our hoods, you know, that can't keep going on. So that's where my work is focused on, continuing moving forward. And yeah, I mean, there's some incredible people, Mystic, Davey, everybody here is just absolutely humbled and honored to be here, and just want to send a shout out and big thank yous and respect. Yeah.
I'm going to hold this brother here too, because this is important. Me and Camille had some funk. We had some issues. We had some challenges. But where we at right now, where we standing right now, I want to publicly say thank you, brother, because I think the first time I ever got a real concert bill to be in the Bay Area, it had Onk Marketing logo on it. I think Yasin Bey couldn't come through here without seeing me as an opening act, and you made sure that happened. And what I'm saying is that platform, the opportunity to be able to shine our light, this brother has done a lot of great work for a lot of us, and I'm glad you're here.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got to stay at the end, too, because you know I got something to say.
How y'all doing? My name is DJ D Sharp. I, for sure, wasn't planning on speaking, but I do. It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. But that's what Jahi do. This is my brother right here, man, and I just want to say thank you in front of everybody right here to Jahi. Can we give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Jahi called me and told me what he was doing, and I thought I was dreaming. I was like, "This what? Me? Why you want to include me in this?" And he was like, "Brother, you are important to hip hop. You are important to hip hop in Oakland." And as he was saying it, as we was talking, I started feeling myself. I'm like, yeah, I am a Puerto. I am. I am from Oakland. Been born and raised here. Never left. Don't plan on leaving. My family is here. I'm raising my family here. And Oakland raised me, man. And hip hop has raised me. And I'm not a public speaker, but I speak with my hands on the turntables. I speak with my hands with producing. That's what I do. I'm a different person behind those turntables. And Oakland has a lot to do with that. Hip hop has a lot to do with that. And I'm just really humbled and blessed to be here. I still can't believe it. Somebody need to pinch me. But again, thank you, Jahi, for this time and this moment. And yeah, peace.
Hold up. DJ D Sharp, we share a collective travel history. First of all, let me shout out RIP to the great Gift of Gab from Quantum Crew. 2004, me and this brother took off from Oakland and hit the world. Jennifer Johns, I'm not sure if she was here, but she was in that crew as well too. And it was Quantum Crew, Black Alicia's crew that helped us set it off. And I'm just really honored and just really proud of what I've seen you be able to do. I always knew what it was on the turntables, but bigger than that, who you are as a human being. All right? Oh, love. So I know that I put people on the spot. Are any other inductees here? Did they come? Is Sugar T here? I didn't see her yet. Okay. The reason why I asked them to speak and put them on the spot. Oh yeah, we coming. Yep. See David control. You see my brother back here. He controlling traffic. I know I didn't ask them to speak, but the reason why I wanted them to share a few words is I wanted you to recognize who the human beings are, because all too often in the museum world, we want the objects, but we forget that they are subjects and human beings. The way in which we are doing this special collection is subjects over objects. We will look at the subject of Davy D, the subject of Mystic, the subject of Ankh Marketing and the Upper Room and others. And throughout those subjects, we will put a pin and then do a 360 view and then pick up the artifacts that go to the story. But we're not going to just put some things of them into this museum. We want to make sure that we put them in the museum. And if you could hear just a little bit of their intentionality, of their love, of their strength and self-determination, I look forward to you all coming back later on this year and really slowing down, making your appointment, putting your white gloves on, and see their greatness. So can we give them all another nice round of applause? And y'all can go back to y'all seat if you like to. I know I held y'all hostage, but I love y'all. What I want to do now is bring up a brother who helped us to make history today. AMLO has been in existence for 77 years, but they have never had two turntables and a mixer as an artifact to live inside of AMLO for Black History Month. And after we finish congregating here, I invite you all to go downstairs, because Pam the Funkstress original turntables, her Serato mixer, her purple Serato records, her cool sticker is right downstairs and will live here for the month of February. And the reason why it was able to happen is because of this brother that I'm going to bring up to share a few words. He has been blowing my phone up. He asked me a lot of questions, and I know why. Because Pam means something to me. Pam the Funkstress was one of the first to say, Jai, you here in the town, you can make it happen. Smiling, good energy. I saw her at Amoeba DJing, just tearing it up. You know how she'll do. You know. If you know, you know, right? But she had a lot of love for people who was really about this culture. And I am so happy that the Pam the Funkstress Foundation is continuing. And can we all give a lot of love to Brother Alex as he comes and shares a few words? We did it.
Thank you. How's everybody doing? Let me get this right here. As we get a little older, whether you use them or not sometimes, right, everybody? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the launch of the Hip Hop Bay Area Archives. Thank you for taking the time to be here for this history-making moment. Also, I would like to say a special thank you to the legends here today. We have been on projects together, and I have seen you in your creativity, element, making history then, and making history now. Thank you to the AMLO team and the committee for opening up the doors to the future and having hip-hop, the community of the Bay Area past, present, and future, having a place to shine. A place where children will be able to see, read, research their story, and hopefully inspire the next generation to rise up, to speak up with one voice, to celebrate life, to speak up and out to injustice, to speak out for a better education, to speak out to police brutality, to speak out for equality for women, and speak out for love. I'm also very thankful to so many of you, but I'm very special person in our life right now is to Jahi. Your energy, your vision, your passion is needed to help build and show history for those that made a contribution to hip hop. Let me share with you a long list of names you'll be able to pick from. MC Hammer, The Conscious Daughters, Souls of Mischief, Capital Tax, Drew Down, Oaktown's 357, Shock G of Digital Underground, producer Tone Capone, Ant Banks, Kyrie, The Mac, with his group The Mac, The Loonies, Selly Cell, Rappin' Forte, Mac Dre, The Click, The Coop, Sway and King Tech, and Timex Social Club, amongst a few. So many artists will be here at some point, will be seen and heard by the help of Jahi, and stay in the course with the AMLO family. Please join me in giving them thanks that already has been done and what they're going to do, everybody. Today I stand before you as a representative of the Purple Pam Foundation, and I say that with great pride and as a friend. We give thanks in recognizing an incredible soul from Streetport, Louisiana, and her made her way to the Bay and never left. We're talking about the first inductee, Pam the Funktress, AKA the Queen of the Turntables, AKA Purple Pam. What made her so unique is her soul. She was a person that always made you feel like you were her best friend right out the gate. She was always tell you the way it is. Pam was absolutely resilient. She was creative. She had a special touch with music and how to present it in a funky way. She rose to the top of the profession that was male-dominated, with her struggles were real. But that never stopped her. She prevailed no matter what was in front of her. Her work ethic was about the hustle 24/7. She had a sense of humor. She was smart, inclusive, determined, humble, and she loved to learn. She would cook and share with thousands the tastes and sounds with music and food. She made an impression on so many, and she also became an inspiration to many other females who would pursue a career in music to start their own businesses and carry on. She truly did so much while she was here. As being a board member, we have the honor to hear many stories of Pam's greatness, such as donating her time to DJ to help families raise money for a child's funeral, or to make food for churches in her community, or still being able to play a concert with the people to go see Cedric the Entertainer and Lunel. And she would just donate her time to DJ for many organizations, such as Make-A-Wish, Greater Bay Area, or working a Backyard Boogie to help for a rent party. She always gave back. In keeping step with her vision, the Purple Pam Foundation was created by Helen Warren, her mother. We've been raising funds to give back to the community to help women to follow their dreams in entrepreneurship and business and an introduction to the world of the DJ. Pam's Foundation is still doing that as we speak. The names I'm going to share with you are DJ Scholarship winners who have come to the foundation for that purpose to grow. Danielle Jennings, Latifah Smith, Jasmine Harlesbig Gibson, Jennifer Moreno, and now the new scholarship winner this week was Rebecca Dews of Brazil, who will be starting classes this March at the Beat Junkie Institute of Sound. And coming this summer, we'll be gearing up for more scholarships right here in the Bay Area at Pyramide San Francisco, and classes will be taught by DJ Audio One. We encourage everyone here today to join our effort to help the Purple Pam Foundation to continue to grow. Please make a donation, buy a shirt, and as Kevy Kev would say, buy two. The direct donations always help, and that, of course, we give that money back to the community for good things to happen in the community. Share a post from Pam's IG. It's always pushed out positivity. Feel free to call us directly if you want to help or share or give us an idea. We're here for you. In closing, I want to say thank you to everyone who's helping us change the narrative. It's just not about her passing, but it's what she did while she was here and what her mom, Helen Warren, continues to do in Pam's name to help women, men, and humanity for a better tomorrow. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I got to bring up the next guest. Now, please help me welcome one man that knew Pam the Funktress very well. He goes by the name of Hip Hop Slams, I Don't Give a Damn, Billy Jam, everybody.
God damn. That DJ made my day. I'm talking about Pam the Funkstress. Happy Black History Month 2023. It's good to be here. Yeah, I've been into Bay Area hip-hop from the early 80s till now. And it's great to see this happen here today. So it's a wonderful thing. But speaking about Pam, and someone mentioned Gift of Gab. There's so many people that we've lost. Most recently, Dangerous Dame. And there's a mural over here and a few blocks from here, and his name will be on there. But Pam is on there, a special one. So what I want to just say about Pam is that I knew her back from Female Funk days, pre the coup. And then then around in 93, she was part of Hip Hop Slam. She was the DJ when we did the Hip Hop Slam show on Soul Beat Television, Channel 37. Speaking of Oakland and hip hop. And she really was an amazing person. She was like everything that Alex said. She was humble. She was just so down to earth. She was always reaching out, helping other people. And over the years, you know, as her career developed, she never lost any of that. And anytime I'd get in touch with her, even when she was sort of living large and touring with Prince, she always had time. And an interesting thing was mentioned there about how she loved to cook. That she was, you know, she took sort of the idea of mixing music and mixing food and sort of blended them together. And the one last thing I just want to say, like, I really miss her, and I think she was an amazing person. But let it be a reminder that, you know, embrace those in your life, because you never know when we're going to lose them, you know. So rest in peace, Pam the Funkstress. Thank you.
There's one other brother that's gonna come say a few words, and I also want to shout them out, and I also want to send this message of unity. This message of unity. KQED is doing an incredible job chronicling the 50 years of hip hop culture in the Bay Area, and we should give it up for that. I am saying publicly, BayAreaHipHop.com. BayAreaHipHop.com. That's my word series on KQED. As we build this special archive, if you want to start reading and getting more information about the cultural heroes we've talked about, I am saying, well done, brother. Great job, brother. We are not in competition with each other. We are moving in unity and unison. So with that, I want to bring forth Eric Arnold to say a few words for Pam the Funkstress.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me just say it is amazing to see all these people here. I mean, this is our community. So many of you, we go back decades, and all the work that all of y'all have put in, it all led to this moment. I'm a little frazzled because, we just launched this KQED That's My Word project yesterday, actually. We've been working on it for about a year. I got stickers, yo. Last night we did this event at KQD Live. It was based on street dancing. It was really important actually to feature street dancing first and foremost because, believe it or not, that was hip-hop before there was hip-hop. The boogaloo culture of Oakland actually goes back to about 1964. And they say hip-hop started in 1973. But it was this amazing event, and we had multiple generations. We had turfers, we had strutters, we had old school boogaloo, the Black Resurgence. Will Randolph from the Black Resurgence was there, and it was an amazing event. And to bring it to a venue like KQED and their audience and people that didn't maybe really get to experience hip hop on a real level, but left touched with the new feeling in their heart for the creative expression that is hip hop, and that's what it's all about, yo. As far as Pam the Funkstress is concerned, she's a legend. Everything that everyone said about her is absolutely true, but there's more. There's so much more, and I already knew Pam. Like when I was the managing editor of 4080, we put Pam on the cover with the Coup, with Boots and E-Rock, and that was like one of our first issues that was distributed nationally, 100,000 copies. And the subhead for that was Revolution Has a Name. And the Coup would not have been the Coup without Pam the Funkstress. There's a whole story about how I think Boots was at Eastmont Mall, and because they used to do hip-hop shows back there in the day, and he was performing with his group at the time. I think it was like the Mau Mau Rhythm Collective. And Pam was there too, and Boots was getting ready to form the Coup, and he was like, I can't do this without Pam. I need her because she represents everything that I'm talking about. Like, in other words, Pam was the revolution. So let that sink in for a minute. And as we've been doing this like historical project, more and more stories have come out about Pam that has added to like what I already knew. I didn't know about the Female Funk album. I knew about the Too Short track. I didn't know they had a whole album that they put out in 1993 that is an amazing album, and Pam is right there doing cuts and production on it. And y'all need to go and get that album right now. Like, go on to Discogs and get that album. It'll be in the special collection. So real quick about Pam, she had an amazing arc. She didn't just wind up as Prince's DJ. Right. There was a lot that led up to that. She was a battle DJ. She competed in the DMCs, and she beat male DJs, and actually got a little bit of shade over that, and stopped performing live. Stopped competing live, and what is that, right? It's like we can't have that in hip hop, but. Still, she was a trailblazer for female DJs, and now if you go to the DMCs, you will see a lot more DJs in competition, but she was a pioneer in that regard. And then her work with the Coup, legendary. All those albums, Kill My Landlord, Genocide and Juice, Steal This Album, and she's on the cover of like all of those, even Party Music, if you go to the original cover that never made it, the sort of, where they're kind of blowing up the World Trade Center with the guitar tuner. Which, they came up with that cover way before 9/11, so it's very, very prescient. But even after Pam stopped touring with the Coup, she became one of the most well-respected club DJs in the entire Bay Area, if not the entire West Coast. Every DJ I know has mad respect for Pam, and it was well-deserved. I used to go see her at the Layover, and she was never not throwing down. She just did not have step, and then she started Bay Area Sister Sound with DJ Zeta, and that proved to be an inspiration for a whole generation of female DJs. To do it in the clubs and to really you know, show that it can be done. And she did it on her own. When she started out Piccadilly Catering down in Foster City, I went and I covered the opening. And, you know, Pam could make the bomb-ass mac and cheese as well. I mean, there was no limit really to her talent. And then, you know, when she ended up being discovered by Prince and having that magical sort of, you know, third act to her career, it was just perfect, and it was right, and it was meant to be. And even though it was for a short time, that sort of cemented her legend. I've been working with the Purple Pam Foundation for about, I don't know what, 3-4 years, something like that. And just want to say that we're just getting started. There's going to be a lot more. You see they're doing DJ scholarships to really fulfill Pam's vision of supporting women in hip-hop, supporting female DJs. And what is DJing? It's really taking technology and using it in a creative way. And with that, I'll say peace.
Eric, real quick. Eric, in the spirit of hip hop, I got to salute you as well. Come here real quick. 1999, the first person to write about me in the Source magazine, because I was doing something that I didn't even know was happening in the Bay. I was selling CDs out of the trunk. And there was somebody from the Bay said, I need to talk to you, brother, because you're doing something that what we do. First brother to ever write about me in the Source magazine. So I just wanted to publicly salute you on that, man.
And that was Cleveland.
That was Cleveland.
Yeah.
That was Cleveland. Yep. So there's two things that are about to happen. Number one, we are not going to close until we hear from Sugar T, who just arrived. I'm going to give her an opportunity to say a couple words. And since we are here, we have made a real-time decision. And I think that the community, we're going to put it out to the community. You will tell me if it's okay or not. Since we are all here in community, we want to take a great day in hip-hop shot on the stairs after Sugar T speaks to document this day, because this photograph is an artifact that will live inside of the special collection. Ashe? With that, everybody give it up one time for Sugar T.
Thank you so much, Jahi, and everybody who came out today. I'm Sugar T, legendary female hip-hop trailblazer, 36 years, celebrating 25 albums. I guess I'm probably the biggest female hip-hop artist that made the whole nation from the Bay first. First lady of the first family to rap the clique, featuring my brothers, E40, D-Shot, Be Legit. Many times platinum and gold, up to date. Just got a gold and platinum recently without even having to do the work. It's a blessing when your music can circulate. That's why history is so important. I'm also the founder, the CEO of Sprinkle Me Social Enterprise, which is the home of the Sprinkle Me Learning Academy, the Sprinkle Me Boutique, the Her Museum, and Sugar Rush Media, Hip Hop Mind Productions, and Sugar T Music and Publishing. And in partnership with the Work It Well Project, because if we're not saving lives with our brand and resources and experience and expertise, then, you know, we're missing our whole purpose. So my life is purpose-driven. It's about changing lives, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this moment. So happy for Jahi, because Jahi, the Lord put in his spirit to try to hold history. And history is so important because I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but they're trying to swipe it away right in front of our eyes. And if we're not careful, then no one will know who anybody is. The past will not be even present, and we'll be left with what we're seeing right now in the media's eyes. So when we take these steps in which Jahi has taken, and the great Oakland Museum, who was smart enough and compassionate and wise enough to help us hold the history of the trailblazers of the beginning of time, is extremely important. So thank you again. I just wanted to leave some encouraging words. Again, like I said, I'm not just rap. I refuse to just be rap. I'm a grandmother of 6. My grandchildren are teenagers. I'm a mother. I raised 2 of my own. They're 35 years old and 34 now. And I'm happy to say that I'm 51 today, in which is in this day. Thank you. God is good. God is good. And I'm happy to say that because, as you know, hip hop is trying to be a young industry in front of the eyes of the world. And this is pretty critical because without the elders and the people who got the game, the real game, the experience, the education, the compassion, the understanding of their purpose here on earth, why they're actually here, and that's to build the people, to leave a legacy, to help others have that well-rounded experience while continuing to be responsible, helping ourselves increase our understanding. I'm making us responsible because we can't control what others do, but we can control what we do, right? So again, by being an open space for these conversations, these real conversations, they're missing in the mainstream. Do you guys agree with me? But also having this underground conversation where we don't get caught up in self and forget about what we need to be doing and where we can control and make the most out of this space that we choose to be in. Because, you know, I could be like Cardi B, y'all, and all that, but I didn't want to shake my booty and flap my tail and sell drugs and alcohol and violence and stripping and bullying and bragging on myself all the time and, you know, just showing one version of me. You know what I mean? I wanted to show the part of me as purpose-driven, like my grandfather, the late Reverend Thurman, told me about being able to bring others along with me and represent God. So at the end of the day, I can go to heaven. I have a better chance of going to heaven, right? Because who we impact, right, we're responsible for. And at the end of the day, you know, God, the energy, however y'all want to look at it, you know what I'm saying, brings the people in our space that we're supposed to reach. And if we're using our brand to take people down and redirect them, then that's a problem, because those are lives that we could have helped and changed. This is a legacy that we could be leaving to help others do the work of God and the work of truth and the work of saving our culture and the work of building. So again, as an educated, not just streetwise, but, you know, I chose to go to school and get multiple degrees and certifications years ago. Today holding a doctor's degree, multiple master's degrees, and working on one again, as well as bachelor's, a variety of certifications. And this is not to big up myself, but this is to say I refuse to be a black woman in hip hop that's considered to be ignorant. And I don't want to be the same as the new booties who are just selling booty at the end of the day. And the wrong things for our little sisters and our little brothers and our parents to have to fight and go against and have to constantly convince people that we know what's going on. This is because the energy starts at the top and it trickles down to the community and to the lives of families. And this whole thing comes together even though they try to keep it apart. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jahi. Thank you all for coming to support such a great cause. Now you guys know a little bit about me besides just Sprinkle Me. I'm working on my 25th album because I don't just show up. I'm a producer. And I'm grateful, a well-rounded experience in this business, not just hip hop. Please stay connected because if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see all the great things that I do and contribute and that we do to help and change lives. And I founded the Her Museum a year and a half ago. We're in San Francisco, but we have mobile exhibits. The goal is to empower the women and girls and to help promote safe and well communities and to push positive arts. So we cannot allow the mainstream and the energy of darkness to make arts become a weapon to ourselves. And so keeping that awareness and that standard is important. So again, thank you guys so much. Bless you. Y'all keep the peace. Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bay Area Hip Hop Archives is officially launched. I want to make a couple quick statements and then I want us to take this community photo and I want everybody to post it today and share it out. For those of you who may have come in later, I just want to say again, we are beginning a process. Over these next couple months, We will be putting together the first special collections. We will have another event in June for Black Music Month. And then we will have an event on August 11th, and we will have these first 15, hopefully, ready and available for you to be able to come and view. This is our starting point. And again, give yourselves a great round of applause for hip hop culture today. So as a community, what I would like for us to do right now is move as a community. We want to take a legendary shot on the stairs. So if everybody can make their way to the stairs towards the bottom, if you think about a great day in Harlem, we are going to take a great day in hip hop shot for the community. So if you can make your way to the stairs, I greatly appreciate it. Inductees, please make yourself to the front of the group so we can make sure you are featured. Thank you.